Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I want to show y'all how to do this style of wrap. Currently I'm wrapping a 40 by 40 millimeter polymer clay cabochon that I made and domed in resin, which if you check out my recent playlists you'll be able to find tutorials on how I did this, but this wrap style works for any three-pointed stone or bead or cap or just whatever you have, undrilled though, which is really nice. And you can see it's very replicable, so you can get very similar results. So it's also great for earrings. So all you need is a mandrel. Here I'm using an old paintbrush handle. You could also use a pen or a knitting needle, and then round nose pliers and wire snips. I'm also using about 20 inches of 20 gauge parawire. The softer the metal that you can work with, the better. I always prefer to use dead soft, and parawire is really great about their metal is pretty consistently on the softer side, which is really fun for wire wrapping. So I'm going to start by coming in about 6 inches or a hand's length in from the end of our wire, and I'm going to wrap twice around our mandrel, just like that. And then we're going to come in and cross our two wires like this and kind of twist tie it, where you just twist them around each other. And I'm going to do that 3 times because I feel like it gives it a lot more stability. There we go. So it looks just like that. And you can slide it out, slide your mandrel out. And so from here I have, and I'm just showing you how I go about it. Feel free to deviate from this and kind of make it your own. But I have our shorter working wire coming towards me. And what I mean by that is it's between my hands and my body. Whenever I say away from me, I mean on the other, like kind of going away from me, if that makes sense. And so this is our shorter working wire is coming towards me. And then our core wire, go away little bug, is coming down straight from our bail. This is the part that we would string a chain or a cord through. And so it's just coming straight down. And then I'm going to take our bead, or our cabochon, and lay it so that this wire is behaving like a center spine. And then I'm going to turn it so now the bail is towards me. And I'm going to bend this down, and you can see I'm holding quite firmly with my fingers and thumb. You could use a bit of masking tape here if you wanted to, but I prefer to just build up the hand strength. It's less stuff you have to fiddle with. And I'm going to bend this wire towards me and then curve it off to the right like that. And I want the wire to land about equidistant between the two ends. And again, you can, after you practice it a bit, go crazy, do whatever you want. But we're bringing it around, and then I'm bending it, boop, just like that, around the back side. And it's going to come right back down here to the center, where I'm bending around. It's okay, it'll wiggle around on you, that's all right. And then we're just going to hook around the other side, like that. So it almost looks like if you gave it like a little crosswire, that it had like underwear on or something. Good luck on seeing that. And so we're going to take it, and then we're going to bend it across the back. And now from here, making sure I'm not getting tangled around this wire, I'm just going to hold that, and I'm going to bend it, boop, like that. So it does kind of look like a pair of underwear. Sorry. And from here, I'm just going to take this and bring it up to, if the pendant is the body, the bail is the head, and I want to wrap this around the neck. So I'm going to try to keep it as centered up over the tip of the stone as I can, and then just wrap twice, have it come off to the side like that. Now technically, you could just snip these wires and have it be set, and that is a wire wrapped piece. But I want to show you guys how to do this little bit of corner detailing that I feel like tightens everything down and gives it a little bit more of a design element. So this is where we're going to come in with our round nose pliers. And you could actually practice on a bit of scrap wire, where you kind of take the wire and you're holding it between the nose of your pliers, one on each side, and just hold that wire stable with your fingers and twist. You can practice that little motion as much as you want until you start to feel confident about it, and you just want to make sure that your pliers don't get too close to the tip of them, because otherwise they might slip and it leaves a little jagged tooth. And if you're using a solid wire like sterling silver or something, or an unenameled copper, like a bare copper, you can file that down and buff it out. But on the enameled wires, it can be much more difficult, as well as on anodized. So just practice until you feel very confident, and then gently and carefully come in. And I'm going to be positioning like this, because you'll get a different result if you swap them. And you could do it however you want, but for this design, I'm doing it like this. I'm bracing the wire on both ends with my fingers, and then I'm going to carefully just cinch down like that, being careful to not scratch the resin on my stone and being careful to not slip off my wire. And I'm going to do that same thing but swapped. So the high point is going to end up being underneath the wire, and the low point would be on top of it. So to mirror it, we just flip it, and I'm coming around and boop, just like that. It gives us this nice little like thing. I don't know, sound effects help, I guess. And then we rotate to the next corner and do that same thing again. And you can see I'm bracing it. I've got everything's quite solid. I'm holding my round nose pliers and just placing it and twist. Sorry, it's getting close at the time of recording to the 4th of July, so there's going to be fireworks in the background. And so we're going to come back in and just cinch. You don't want to do this first one too much, or you won't have enough slack in the wire to get another design in there. So we're going to come around and we're going to do it again to the 3rd corner. And I guess you could wrap a square stone like this also, or a diamond. Oh, is everything okay? Whew, everything's okay. It gave us a little bit of a slip right there, but I bet if you don't tell anybody, they might not notice. Oops, sorry for the loud plier drop. I'm just glad it didn't scratch the stone. Whew. Okay, so those things happen, just be mindful of them. And it's a little looser right here than I wanted it to be. So again, I'm going to take it and just place my pliers and cinch that down just a hair. And you can see it knocked our bail off center. Well, we can just kind of strong arm that back over. And so from here, I'm going to bring this tail of wire down. And you could snip it very close to the tip, but I don't mind a bit trimming it down some, just about 1 centimeter past the base of the pendant. And I'm going to start spiraling it in. This adds a nice decorative element. You can also use it to kind of stabilize a little bit more of your work. Also, I'm getting my thumbnail. You could use a pocket knife or a T-pin to just lift that center spine wire. And I'm going to bring this around and tuck it right through behind our spine wire. And that makes me feel like I can cinch it down now, and it'll be a little bit more grounded, so if it gets tangled in your hair or something, or it's a lot less likely to just rip off. So you can kind of see. And you can make the back as decorative as you want. You could come through and tighten stuff down a little, just make it look like you cared. Sometimes just doing a little bit like that can really make a difference. And then we're going to come around with our second tail. And again, you could clip it and leave it very sleek, but I want to show you guys how to do just a decorative spiral at the base of the bail. I'm bringing it around. Okay. I'm going to cut about 1.5 inches or 2 finger widths. This scrap wire right here is exactly what you would be practicing with, whether it's making spirals or anything like that. And so I'm going to grab as close to the tip of the wire and as close to the tip of the pliers as I can. And I'll zoom out so you can see. I'm twisting my hands as opposite of each other as I can and using my first finger as a way to keep my spiral flat, and then just cinching everything around until my hands are twisted completely opposite again, almost like wringing out a dish rag or something. And then I'll just replace my pliers, fashion to the loop, and keep going. And I find that gives me a very open, organic looking spiral. A little bit more whimsical. And you could come in, and if you don't, I try to not have open wire ends, so I just tighten down that loop a little bit more. And then, again, personal preference, I like to come in with my fingernails. Again, you could use your pliers or something, and just open that up just a little bit. I like to give it like bunny ears. But that is a wire wrapped pendant. And you can see you could do that on all sorts of different handmade cabochons. You could do it on lapidary work or gemstones, or just whatever you might have. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or ideas, I would love to hear them down below. And if you have any requests for future tutorials, I'd love to hear that as well. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if y'all make something following along with any of my tutorials and you would like for me to feature your work, please feel free to tag me on Instagram or post things to my Facebook wall. And that way, whenever people come across my page, they'll see your work as well. And also, if you enjoy my free tutorials and would like to support the creation of more of them, as well as participate in my digital download content, early access videos, behind the scenes like updates and pictures and footage and all sorts of stuff, as well as our monthly craft crates and giveaways, please check me out on Patreon. We have a lot of different stuff going on over there. And I'm very grateful to all of y'all, patrons and otherwise, just spending your time here with me crafting. I really appreciate it. Y'all inspire me all the time. So thank you so much. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.